Hey, everybody, happy Friday. We are back with a brand new episode of TGIF. We're here to spill the tea and break down the biggest headlines in the news and on social media. So sit back, relax, and get ready for this hot tea. Again, it's Friday, so please put your little messy questions in the chat, and our producers will get the questions to us, and we'll ask them at the end of the show. Please welcome Al Reynolds. What's up, Al?
Hey, what's going on, Claudia?
Out here in Vegas making donations to these casinos.
What you mean? You lost?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that means you lost a lot.
I mean,
well, I'm at Sundance, so there are no casinos here, but I have a lot of premieres to go to and a lot of good panels and all of that great stuff to attend, as well as the parties, because I can't miss a good party.
We know that. All right, well, have fun up there. Get us some good footage and good pictures.
Absolutely.
Who are you with out there?
Say it again.
Who are you with out there?
Oh, I'm by myself, but I'm a guest of Audible.
Okay. All right. Please welcome Funky Dineva. What's up, Q?
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday.
How your guts doing today, Q?
They holding on, honey. They holding on. I just ordered me some wonton soup that's on the way from Postmates, because y'all know it don't take much to upset my stomach. So I'm going to soup it out this weekend and get my digestive tract back on track.
Somebody said in the comments, they were like, Funky just had a colonic, and then he went and had all that greasy food. And then, of course, he's going to have those issues, like you needed to wait a little while.
I didn't know. I didn't know, y'all. I'm new. I am new. Listen, I am unlocking my better self from the inside out, and this is new to me.
What is new to you? I mean, we've been all...
The colonics. Like, I didn't know what the side effects.
Okay.
So what are you not supposed to eat after a certain time span?
Yeah, you're supposed to kind of ease back into hard food. You're supposed to eat very, very easy to digest foods, because you are, when you're doing a colonic, flushing out all the good bacteria and everything from your digestive tract.
Got it.
But I'm not gonna blame it on the colonic. My stomach just got a mind of its own, child.
You misjudged. You thought it was a shark. You thought it was a fart. And
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh
okay.
gosh, here we go.
All right, questions in the comments for us, please, on the YouTube chat. And okay, I know Al, you got Sundance, but anybody plans for the weekend? Anything going on? Anything else?
I'm chilling this weekend. This is one of those weeks that's been kind of long, and I feel haggardly worn out, spent, back to back, used. So I just want to lay down and rest.
Okay. Al, I know you got a bunch of parties to go to.
Yeah, there is one that I want to see in particular. The Sundance is also, doing a lot of diversity and inclusivity. So I do want to see that panel that has Coleman Domingo on it, because, he's an actor and a writer and a director. So I do want to see that panel of all of those particular directors and writers of color that they're going to have. So yeah, definitely Saturday. I hope I can sneak into that and figure it out.
Okay. Speaking of directors, I'm going to be flying to LA in the morning to support my best friend, Annie Alonzo. She's one of the stars of the movie Fear that Deon Taylor and his wife, Roxanne, produced. I cannot wait to see it and directed it. Cannot wait to see that. And Terrence J, T.I., a bunch of people. So that's going down tomorrow in LA.
Annie, that's your lesbian lover, right?
No. That's my best friend. I'm not in the community like y'all.
Yeah, I watched them Best Friends, child. That's them Best Friends.
I'm the least gay of all my friends. Like they always say, Claudia won't even change around us. She faces the wall and she's so modest around us. And I'm really like that, but that's kind of funny. I cringe when you say that because I couldn't even imagine kissing my best friend. All right, y'all. Let's get into the show with you wild, freaky boys. Alec Baldwin will be charged with involuntary manslaughter for the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins that happened on the set of that film Rust. Remember that? It was crazy. Now, the charges were announced yesterday against him, as well as the movie's armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. They will both be charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. Now, the first charge is a 4th-degree felony with a sentence of up to 18 months in jail and a $5,000 fine. The second charge is a 4th-degree felony punishable by up to 18 months in jail and up to a $5,000 fine. And the second charge also has added firearms enhancement with a mandatory 5-year prison sentence. I think this is wow. This is insane. Al, what are your thoughts on this updated story?
You know what, Claudia? This is just sad and unfortunate rolled up in one. You know, Alec Baldwin is like a Hollywood icon. Everybody enjoys working with him. He's been very successful. And what I don't understand is, he partnered with the family. He was sued in a civil lawsuit of the wrongful death. They did settle. He did settle with the husband. He even made the husband a executive producer on the film so that he'll get another income stream in addition to what they settled for the wrongful death. And this district attorney in New Mexico has decided that she doesn't care that he has settled it with the family. But in fact, in the state of New Mexico, when you behave like this, that she's going to charge you. So she's charging him with involuntary manslaughter under that statute, under unintentional killings, because she said that he practiced gross negligence. So even though someone else gave him the gun and told him that the gun was cold, it was his responsibility, in her opinion, to check the gun and make sure that the gun was in fact cold before pointing it at someone and firing it.
Real quick, I'm going to say this. I've worked on films, and I've worked on films where I had to use a gun. It is not the actor's responsibility to check for that. That's what the technician on set is there for, the expert. They have gun safety rules. They're supposed to check all of that. It has nothing to do with the actor. The actor's supposed to act and execute his role. That is supposed to be taken care of before you even get to set. I cannot believe that she's doing this. I cannot believe.
Yeah, as you know, Claudia, that's the big controversy, because she's saying that he still had a responsibility, even though Dave Hall, the assistant director, is the one that handed him the gun and told him that it was cold. Dave, when was questioned by the prosecutor, by the district attorney, said that, I forgot to check all the guns.
It shouldn't even have had a bullet. Like, usually they have blanks in the guns. I worked on a set where I got hit with the blank, a shell in my face. It burnt my face, but no bullet should be in the gun. Q, what do you think about this story?
I think it's unfortunate. It was an accident, right? And I know that if it was your family member, you probably wouldn't want to hear that. You don't care that it's an accident. Somebody's head needs to roll. I don't know. It is unfortunate, but it does make me feel good when Al revealed that most of the charges are fifth-degree felonies with up to 18 months in prison time. I'm a little worried about the 5-year one, but at least the one with 18, if that's the maximum punishment and he may not get the maximum, this person's life won't be turned upside down forever. I don't think any reasonable jury is going to find this person guilty with this crime, because it was an accident and it sucks. And it just feels like, outside of the civil money that they got, that if the family wants any type of justice, that they're probably going to have to take it up with God.
Well, I feel like the justice was given when they settled with him for him, killing her. Something in my gut is telling me that, these types of incidents in these types of states, this is a district attorney's opportunity to become famous and to actually get their name put in law books. And I just feel like something in the core of me is saying that this district attorney for the state of New Mexico is making an example of Alex Baldwin. And I'm not necessarily sure that that's 100% fair on his part.
It's so sad how corrupt these people can be, that have so much power that can actually change a lot of people's lives for the worse.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that these people are able to, use this opportunity and seize upon it and use it as a name maker,
Mm-hmm.
And that's their motivation, not actual justice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll keep y'all posted on the story, because I know we'll definitely be following up with this. All right, y'all. The artist behind the much talked about Dr. King and Coretta Scott King sculpture, Hank Willis Thomas, has spoken out, and he said he has no plans to change the piece of art. Thomas appeared on CNN, and when he was asked by Don Lemon if he had any plans on modifying or changing the work of art if it was requested, he said, by who? Because this was a piece that was selected by the people of Boston. This is not a Hank that just came out and put something out there. Now, thousands of people worked on this. Thousands of people actually put it together. Thomas continued, and to bring that to the King's legacy, and to dictate the making of art and the celebration of them is really strange for me. I was surprised to see this was a brother. Okay, one. And two, Q, what are your thoughts on his response? And do you think he should modify the sculpture? What did you think about the sculpture?
You know what? This is one of those things where I try to be level-headed as possible. And I recognize the fact that I would never fit into like the New York art scene. I would never fit into the art gallery scene because all of that stuff be looking like a heap of junk to me, right? So because that's kind of my outtake on things, I was like, I mean, I guess. But just being an everyday layman walking through the city, I think that the statue should have represented Martin and Coretta in a non-abstract way. I shouldn't have to look at the little placard in front of it to look down and see what this thing is actually about. So I honestly think it missed the mark. If we are going to memorialize Martin Luther King, then he needs to stand just as tall and recognizable as all these Robert E. Lee statues that are across the U.S. and Mount Rushmore and every doggone thing else. Like for $10 million, we need to know upon first glance that that's Martin and Coretta. All in all, despite the fact that I'm not trying to be artsy, and I know I'm not artsy, that statue looked like a heap of junk.
I didn't like it either. Al, did you like it?
I'm gonna have to disagree with the two of you. First of all, like we all have said, it took 5 years to make. It wasn't something that was just singularly decided because Hank wanted this. The citizens of Boston wanted this. Like Hank said, it was an entire process. People approved, reapproved, chose, rechose, and redecided and structured this from inception to completion. So
it was white.
I feel like for you to ask an artist, because artists are very creative and very sensitive, for you to ask an artist who put 5 years and $10 million into a sculpture to then modify it, I think it's just absolutely degrading to them as a sculptor and as an artist. I think that we will, this moment would pass as we try to digest the perversion perspective, and we're going to over time really understand how incredible this piece of art will symbolize the King legacy down the road.
Al, screw offending him and his damn legacy. That it's offensive to Dr. King's legacy. That statue is
that's your opinion.
And
that's your
you
opinion.
Can't tell me that statue was commissioned by the NAACP chapter of Boston or the Martin Luther King board of Boston.
Absolutely, Q. We know that. We know that the oldest. We know that Martin Luther King. No,
they must ain't got no real black people in Boston.
Don't do that, Q. Don't do that, Q. We can't make it up now. We know that Martin Luther King Jr. himself, the son of Martin Luther King, approved it. We know that he has nothing but positive things.
He got dementia. He got dementia.
Boy, cut it out.
Okay, let me just jump in here and say something about this. I'm from that area. I'm from Rhode Island. Is about 36 miles away from Boston. My brother lives in Boston. There are a few Black people out there, especially in Roxbury and Dorchester and downtown. There's a few of us out there. It could be gone through all kinds of approvals from the boards or whatever. But from what I'm hearing, people don't like it that are there. The average person does not like it there. And we can have an opinion on art because that's why it's art, right? Like Al can love it, Q can hate it, I can feel like, We are supposed to give our opinions on this, right? I think it's horrible. And a place such as Boston that has such a reputation for racism, leave no doubts in anyone's mind that this was a really good attempt, what it was. Put the same effort you put into the aquarium that's amazing in Boston. Put the same effort you put into the tunnels that's in Boston. I don't know anyone that said they liked it besides Al. I haven't heard a lot of people like, Al, I know you respect this artist and all that, and that's fine. And I can't criticize you for liking. You like what you like. But it looked like crap. It looked like a penis. It looked like Dookie. And I want to see it and be like, we got all these Confederate statues that we fight for them to take down. We know exactly who those people are.
Yes.
Without an explanation, I would never know who that was.
Right. I want his face flaunted in front of Bostonians. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want that palatable. It's giving me very this won't upset the crowd over there because you really can't tell or see what it is. It just looks abstract. No.
Here you go, your little statue.
Right. I want it loud,
I'm
bold,
confused
and
because
in color.
didn't the black people, didn't the individuals of Boston as well as the black people of Boston vote on this? Because this was a historical, once black neighborhood that this sculpture is located in. It wasn't like, you guys are making it seem like it was just this fly by night. No black people had any input into it. And because the masses have made this a trend that it's something ugly, you're jumping on that train. I have to disagree.
Well, the black people that voted on it were out of touch.
No, they didn't. Listen, they didn't take a vote from the citizens and go, hey, citizens of Boston, do you approve of this?
How do you know? They said that the Boston citizens decided on this. They said thousands of people were involved in this process. They said there were committees, and I tend to agree that it probably was.
I highly doubt people
came. People of Boston, they're just.
I highly doubt people came out of their house during any of those elections, and that mess was on, and the picture of it was on the ballot, and that they could say this is what we want. I doubt that highly, and I think when they say the people of Boston.
Next topic, you guys are being disrespectful to the artists, and you.
Well, we're not trying to be disrespectful, sir. But I have the right to not like your art. It's ugly to me. It's ugly. It looks like a heap of junk. You think it looks great. I think it's a heap of junk. Which one of us is right? Neither of us is right. Neither of us is wrong. It just is what it is.
Yeah, I don't know if it's disrespecting the artist. You're not just there for positive, for the accolades. Just like people might love or hate this show, we still gonna do our show. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We personally don't like it, and you do. And hey, there's an audience for the people that do like it, Al. And I think it looks like Dookie. All right. Well, on that note, that's not a high note, but we're gonna go to a commercial break. And can y'all put your questions in the chat? Hey, do y'all like the statue? Let's ask the chat. Do y'all like the statue? Like,
I ain't even gotta ask them. I know they don't.
All right.
Y'all are horrible.
We're not horrible, Al. Is he a rich black
That's
man?
horrible. That's an artist that's $10 million. That's a black artist that had to go out and raise money to freaking, praise an icon, a civil rights.
He got it wrong.
You guys are beating
rich black men can be wrong.
You're discrediting his ability to raise money as a black artist.
We gotta go, you guys.
Create art for a racist town. It's just not.
Al, we gotta go to commercial.
We can finish this later. We got to go to commercial break, and we can argue on the other side. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF. Now, before we went to break, we had a heated discussion about the Boston statue dedication to Martin Luther King and Coretta Scott King. And Al is definitely pro-artist and is definitely defending this artist. And Funky and I are on the other side. We asked the chat what they said. There's a lot of dookie emojis. And let me see. Let's see. In New York City, Before Me says Al is blinded by successful black men, and Wannabe Love says Al is on the wrong side. LOL. They said, Al, you always try to take a different approach. Let me see if I find some positive things from Al.
No, anybody? You surely won't find anything positive.
I'm trying to find. Claudia says, there go Al defending rich black men. That sculpture is trash. Oh, damn. Carol says, Al, the artist didn't do a good job on the statue. I'm sorry, Al. I'm trying to find you some love. Anything positive? Now they're putting trash emojis, trash can emojis.
It's just weird because it is. Granted, I get that black people, we are not a monolith, right? I know that, but it feels like the lion's share of black people's response to this statue is negative. So I am just really fascinated by who these Bostonians were, whose opinions differ so much from the herd.
We got one in the chat. King Feline says, I'm from Boston, and that SHIT is ugly. All right, we're going to leave it alone. We will, you know what? Maybe people will warm up to the statue. I don't know. Maybe it'll grow on us. Al, I'm sorry. But yeah, the people of the Bostonians in our chat have spoken. All right, y'all, listen. A Delta passenger in Atlanta grabbed a fire extinguisher and sprayed the terminal after she was caught stealing chicken wings from Buffalo Wild Wings. Take a look.
Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness.
Every time I hear these stories and fighting and chicken, I'm like, please don't let it be us, but I know it is. I just know it is. Al, what do you think?
She wasn't black, was she? I thought she was a white female.
I couldn't tell.
She looked white.
I think she's
she
a white
was?
female.
Yeah,
She's a white female.
well, we can say that she wasn't black.
Okay.
Okay.
I just be praying like, please don't let it be us. Please don't let it be us, the stereotype. So, okay.
No, we don't be at Delta. We be at Spirit in Southwest. I mean, Delta
Not me, girl. Go ahead, Al. Talk about this white lady.
Oh no, I just felt like, to me, it just felt like she had way too much time to do these types of things. Where was security? Where was police? Why did it take them so long to show up to even apprehend her or to stop her? That's my question.
You want to know, that question about where was security and where was police, it always baffles me, right? Because in all honesty, they can't be 5 feet away from everything at every minute of the day. I mean, maybe they were at the other end of the terminal, but mental illness is real, y'all. And I keep hating to just throw everything in the mental illness bucket, but this is just not rational behavior. It's giving, maybe she couldn't pay for the chicken wings because she had too much liquor. Something was just very off with this. And we all know since 9/11, the airport is the last place you even want to sneeze without putting your hand over your mouth, yet alone take the fire extinguisher and cause this type of scene. Al, did she end up getting arrested?
Oh, yeah, she was apprehended. What was it? But she claims that someone else paid for her food when she was in line at the Wild Wings, and that's why she walked away with the wings. So let's see how this plays out, because we know in Miami, when that other Black female threw the monitor and all that stuff, police showed up really quickly, arrested her, and charged her with 3 different charges. So we've got to see.
We've talked about conflict resolution on the show before. Once again, people cannot resolve simple issues anymore with a conversation. It always escalates to these incidents and people being arrested and dragged off, fire extinguishers, fighting. We're talking about chicken wings, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Chicken wings. You see people rolling up to the drive-ins and trying to throw drinks at people, assaulting folks over French fries.
Mm-hmm.
Has the world always been this mad, or are we just extra on edge from the pandemic and everything? Or are we just hearing about it more because of the media? I don't know. I kind of feel like the world's getting worse, but I don't know.
And listen, I'm all for showing my ass if the situation calls for it, but I just don't think being, hey, ma'am, you need to pay for your chicken wings warrants you, spraying mesothelioma all over the place and getting that fire extinguisher stuff in people's lungs.
Right. Oh, speaking of getting stuff on people's lungs and faces, on a recent issue of Carisha Please, Young Miami told Trina she enjoyed golden showers. Young Miami said, I don't know, it just do something to me. I don't even know which one of y'all to go to first on this one.
Al, because he like it. Go to Al.
Al, you said you into golden showers, right?
Yeah, I'm into giving them and receiving them, but I really felt like that Carisha was actually giving us a front seat to maybe what her and P. Diddy's kinks may be. All over Twitter and IG, you see they're making this joke that not P. Diddy, but P.E.E. Diddy. So, hey, maybe she was letting us know how her and P. Diddy gets down.
Why do you like receiving golden showers, Al? What is it, because it's warm?
I just felt like, well, the first time it ever happened, I just thought that I was doing an amazing job, and she was like,
the girl
was really into it. Mm-hmm. That's how I first started getting into it, but now I don't know. It's something about the warmth.
Have you ever gotten one from a guy?
Yeah, probably. I can't remember. And
you be peeing on them, you be spraying them like, take that. Take that.
Spraying them, I don't know about spraying them, but yeah, it's not, you can't just spray them, because you got to remember, it depends on where you do it. If you do it in the shower, it's cool, which is most of the places that I've experienced them. But in bed, you got to remember, you got to clean that up.
Q?
It's just the unsanitary nature of the act for me. And while Carisha is not the most regal of people, and we don't expect her to be Princess Diana, when production put that picture up of her, I just saw a beautiful Black woman on the rise. And I just don't think being peed on is just something that needs to be going hand in hand with your legacy and this new level of stardom. And listen, I'm one to talk because I'm very transparent and I pride myself on being a brand that's transparent, but just I don't know. It's just degrading to me. I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, like the big picture, like I know I get people saying, oh, Claudia don't like to answer things. I just think some things are just for your private like life and for the people that are involved. And I just feel like this era of just everyone telling everything is just like, and you're right, she is a young rising star and she's beautiful. She's super hot right now. She's killing the game. And we're going to think about this. We'll always equate like golden showers is going to be a thing with her, And I don't know. I'm torn between it's cool to be transparent, but then I'm also like, do we need to know everything? Do I need to see you on the toilet? Do I need to know all this stuff? But who am I talking to right now? I'm talking to y'all. I just seen your dirty drawers on the Instagram yesterday. So
they were sweatpants. I'm classy enough to not put my drawers on Instagram.
Oh yeah, they went.
Remember, he tossed them in the trash
because they were.
No, he tossed them in the trash
because they were shattered on. Yeah. Classy base. Okay. All right. Moving on. I don't know you guys. All right. On a recent interview with Vlad TV, Smokey Robinson claims he had an affair with Diana Ross while he was married. Robinson said, yes, it lasted probably longer than it should because I was married at the time. He added that happened later after I got married, after I got them signed up at Motown. And that's when it started. What are your thoughts on this claim and Smokey telling the business? I got some Smokey tea too, by the way. Al, what you think?
I guess which the part that he's telling it or the part that is happening. So I'll start with the part that he's telling it. I think it was in reference to a question because we don't know Smokey to be, like gossipy or whatever. I didn't catch it as he was kind of shading Diana Ross or anything. But as far as that has happened, that doesn't surprise me because we know all the shenanigans that was going over there with Berry Gordy, with his 8 kids and 6 baby mamas and everybody on that label dropping it low and spreading it wide. The best part about this story that I liked was the fact that he said that Diana Ross did not give him the time of day until after he had signed with Berry Gordy at Motown. That was funny to me.
Al, Q, what you think about this, about Smokey spilling the tea?
It's given Diana Ross was passed around tease for me. Like it's given that she had some of that pass me around energy because Smokey was married. She knew he was married. I was upset at first, but then once I found out that Diana had actually spoke about their rendezvous in one of her books, Smokey wasn't doing anything messy. She had already put it out there. I would have felt differently if he would have been disgracing her legacy or putting her on blast. But since she was already comfortable talking about it and she put it out there, hey, Smokey's been in the business and he knows that these interviews need to be spicy, and to get yourself back out there, you got to give us bits and pieces. And that's why I always say I got to save some for my memoir. And that was one of the things Smokey probably saved for his memoir. So
Smokey and I, we played Jeffrey Osborne's celebrity golf tournament every year. So I don't want to I have nothing bad to say about him. That's my boy. I think he's cool as hell. I love him. So there's some tea that ties into the Price is Right from back in the day. Back in the day, one of the models was fired from Price is Right, one of the old school models, right? And allegedly, the tea is how the whole Price is Right situation fell apart was because Smokey was messing allegedly with one of the girls. Now, I don't think he was married at the time, but Bob Barker was messing with this lady. And when he found out that she had been with a black man, he did not like it. That is alleged. That was what the tea was when I was on set. That's what people saying. So when they fired the old school girls, that made way for me and the other 2 younger girls that come through. And it changed the whole cast of the show. Now that is major tea, y'all, that went down allegedly at Price is Right with Smokey. So Smokey been doing his thing for a second. Shout out to Smokey Robinson. All right, y'all. We are
going to go to commercial
break, and hopefully we are still on the air when we come back. Hey, Bob Barker.
Bob gonna get us shut down.
Is he alive?
Yeah. All right, guys, welcome back to TGIF. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure you get your questions in for the three of us for the end of the show. All right, y'all, you know what time it is. We all know how important sleep is to our overall health and wellness. Well, let me tell you about Ghost Bed, the best beds in the game. Ghost Bed is a family-owned business that's been designing high-quality sleep products for more than 2 decades, and their 50,000 positive reviews show just how awesome they are. From luxury mattresses to premium sheets that get softer with every wash, Ghost Bed is your go-to for all things sleep. Plus, if you sleep hot, every Ghost Bed mattress is designed with cooling in mind, including materials like their signature Ghost Ice fabric. Now with Ghost Bed, you get fast and free shipping, plus a 101 night sleep trial with free returns. So trying out a mattress is truly risk-free. Now, you can even take their online quiz to find the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. Shipping is free and fast, and most orders ship within 24 hours. Now, you can try your mattress for 101 nights with free returns, and you can even take their online quiz to find the ideal mattress for your sleeping style. I know, Q, when you stay in bed till 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the afternoon and we can't reach you, I know that Ghost Bed pillow is the reason why. Tell us about it.
You know what? I always tell y'all the Ghost Bed pillow, and I see so many of y'all have been in the comments now on our social media like, oh, I see your Ghost Bed pillow in the back. If this pillow is this amazing, I know that the Ghost Bed itself has got to be even more amazing. So those of y'all who buying these houses with your PPP money and all that, and you need a new mattress, I suggest you get a Ghost Bed mattress as well, because these sleep products, y'all, are second to none.
All right, Al, what you think about the Ghost Bed products? I know you say you tend to sleep hot in the cooling fabric.
Yeah, I love the cooling material behind it. I can only imagine if the pillow provides that for my head area, that the mattress can provide it for my whole body. So I'm actually kind of excited to even try it. And the more we talk about it and the more benefits that I get from the pillow, I really think with my move to Los Angeles, I just might try out the Ghost Bed, because it has really helped me with my headaches, my snoring. And like I said, neck pain, no more cricks and all that great stuff. So I'm honest. I promise you, I think I'm going to try it out.
Well, let me know how it feels. For a limited time, Ghost Bed is offering our viewers 30% off Ghost Bed mattresses, plus 2 free luxury pillows, or get 40% off when you bundle a mattress with their award-winning adjustable base. Now, I have some Ghost Bed products on the way, and I cannot wait to get them. To find your perfect mattress, use promo code T at ghostbed.com/T. Look, you don't want to miss out on these savings. Again, that's promo code T at ghostbed.com/T. And Al, let us know if you really do that, if you get that bed. It seems like they have a sale. They have good, good discounts on, especially with, us working with the show, with the products. All right. All right, moving on to Transparent is sharing their story on how they got pregnant during a one-night stand while going through their medical transition. 36-year-old Danny Wakefield came out as trans masculine, which is a person assigned female at birth, but who identifies with masculinity at the age of 25. Now, Wakefield also identifies as non-binary and queer. In April of 2020, Wakefield found out that they were pregnant after having a one-night stand with an unnamed man. Wakefield told Newsweek, "I've known for my entire life that I've wanted children, and I knew before I transitioned that I would want to carry at least one child." Wakefield added, "Often when people are transitioning, they might freeze their eggs. I also thought about how I would feed my baby when I had my double mastectomy. Those small decisions had to be made, and I don't regret them one bit." Al, what are your thoughts on the story?
Ooh, this was a lot to process, but I think in my understanding and educating myself, if I understand this correctly, is that they don't non-binary. So they have always wanted to have a kid. So this was their opportunity to have a kid. From the pictures, it looks like that they are a very nurturing father, and that the kid is being raised, in a very happy home that's safe. So, I mean, although it's alternative, although it's different, although optically it looks different, I have to give the thumbs up for anybody that wants to have a kid, has a healthy kid, and offering a loving environment for that kid to grow.
Okay. Q, what you think?
I I'm glad that the child's been taken care of, right? In a great environment, whoop-de-doo. I'm not here for it. I'm just simply not here for it, and I'm not going to mince my words here. From my understanding, and the big push has been, you feel like you have been this one thing and that you were born in the wrong body. That is the cell that we have been given. That is what we are now trying to process and wrap our brain around. So if you are a man, be a man. And then I think you say, I read, and I'm paraphrasing here. He said something to the effect of, why not? Yes, I'm a man, but why not take advantage of my female organs? You say you identify with being a man, but you've done one of the most womanly things possible that one could do. And so I think it's a slippery slope. I'm evolved enough to get with the program. If that's what we're going to be on, that everybody and every gender can just have kids, and that's just the plan that we live on, I can get with the program. But I think it's going to be very hard for the masses to get with the program when you're trying to sell us that you're supposed to be a man, but you want to cherry pick pieces of being a woman. I think it undermines the movement.
Well, I'm not going to dare step into this because it's just too confusing. It's too hard to keep track of they, he, she, like birthing person, chest feeding. There's the new terminology. So I'm just going to go on to the next, like y'all be saying. That's what I'm going to do.
They must have been eating your ass up, Claudia, in the comments about the trans stuff.
I know. They think I'm
transphobic. Not me, girl. She said she didn't want to touch it.
I'm not doing it. Y'all can have it. I'm tired. I can't. You damned if you do, you damned if you don't. So we're going to talk about 3LW, okay? Former member Kiely Williams recently told Carlos King that she had been in an entanglement with B2K group members Raz B, Lil Fizz, and J Boog. Now, she responded to King's rumor mill and said, I think I said entanglement with all of them except for Omarion. Everybody has their bleep days, so let's have them. We can look back in them days when we were older and be like, yeah, I was out there, ... What are your thoughts on this alleged entanglement? Q, let's start with you. What do you think about this? Was it all at the same time? Like,
what I'm deducing, honey, her middle name is Amtrak. Okay? Well, this sounds like a train was being ran somewhere in that bad boy. I don't know, but listen. Y'all know I'm very sex positive. So she is right. You do want to look back on your 20s and be like, child, I had fun or whatever. But I don't know that I would have told it. You know, unfortunately, and Claudia, you know this, it's not fair. Women don't get to do the things men do and receive the same type of criticism. And that's probably not going to change in this lifetime. I don't know that I would have waited to get her age, have kids and stuff to reveal that I let 3 members of a group do something with me, because it makes you look like a whore.
All right. Al, what do you think? Do you think it's making her look like a whore?
I think we've had this conversation on the show a couple of times before. I thought it was interesting that a woman actually was forthright and honest about her sex partners. So I think it's pretty hard to slut shame someone when they're the one bringing it forth than someone else. Like, I know, Claudia, you've been very vocal on this show about men who talk about all the women they have sex with, and you're not here for it. What are your thoughts on her just sitting here as a woman on a platform talking about all the sex partners that she's had?
I mean, it's dope if you're comfortable to share it. I'm just not of the school of sharing everything. I think it's good to leave a little bit of mystery about you. I really do. I don't think everything's for everybody's business, especially if you're a mom. But I'm not, hey, if you're comfortable talking about your sex life, that's fine. I don't want to, but to each their own. I don't like giving people ammunition to later on use against me later on. And that's exactly what's going to happen. And but hey, she bagged all 3 of them. I wonder who was the best. I think Lil Fizz was in the comments asking like who was the best.
But we got to tell the truth, y'all. It does look bad. And I know it's not fair, right? Because men can do it and be praised, and women do it and they're looked down upon.
True. I
know it's not fair and it's not right, and it should be equal for everybody. But unfortunately, it isn't. This looks bad.
All right. Well, moving on. A nurse shared on TikTok that she nursed her cheating husband back to health after a near fatal car crash, only to discover that she was cheated on again once he fully recovered. Now, Kate Cifuentes said she was overwhelmed with guilt after the car crash because she feared that he was attempting to respond to her text message before the crash. She felt bad. So, but after spending months of nursing him back to good health, Cifuentes discovered that he had been using his reacquired motor skills to cheat on her again. What would y'all do? Al, what are your thoughts on the story? You know, nursing back to health, only for him to cheat.
Claudia, I think we should get into this because this is really good and we're going to need some time to let this segment breathe after commercial.
Welcome back to TGIF. Once again, it's Friday, so make sure you put your questions in the chat for the three of us, and we'll get to them at the very end. Now, before we went to break, we talked about a woman on TikTok who was talking about how her husband was in an accident. She nursed him back to health after a near-fatal crash, and she found out that he cheated on her, like using his little newly recovered motor skills to cheat on her. Al, what do you think about this?
Oh man, I just felt sad for her. But she's 24 years old. She does have 2 kids, so I do understand why she took him back. And you know, the fact that he couldn't walk, he couldn't eat, he couldn't talk. She's got kids, so I see why she took him back. But listen, once a cheater, always a cheater, right? And in this instance, that saying couldn't be any more clear. But she's young enough to rebound. She's young enough to find another happy relationship and move forward.
Okay. It's giving Diary of Mad Black Woman. Like I want her to nurse him back to health, find out he did that, and whoop his ass again. Like, I'm like, what? Like, damn, can you wait a little bit of time? It's like there's a story about a woman that gave someone, her husband, a kidney. What was that? Was that one of the, was that George? It was an entertainer. I don't want to say.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and then he like left her. Q, what you think about this?
Listen, y'all, this is what it looks like when somebody fundamentally doesn't want you. You know what I'm saying? Like when somebody cares for you and nurses you out of, you know, a coma or a bad accident, and you still don't find enough humanity in yourself or that person to respect them and to honor them and for what they've done for you. It just shows that they fundamentally do not want you, and that you actually did yourself a disservice in taking him back the first time. But lesson learned. I like to look at my glass half full versus half empty. And I think that this man actually did her a bigger favor than she knows.
Yeah, especially, yep. Get him out of there. And he's going to have to sit with that. Yeah. You know, a lot of times people like it hits them later on like, damn, that was raggedy of me to do that. You know what I mean?
You know, and equally so, Claudia, I'm not a fan of people staying in relationships they don't want to be in. Mm-hmm. I just don't like the way he did it. You know what I'm saying? And he probably stuck around longer and cheated on the down low because he probably did feel a bit of guilt. Dang, I really don't want her, but she did take care of me. You know what I'm saying? Because it is kind of messed up for somebody to nurse you back to health and then you file for divorce. That looks jacked up. It just was a lose-lose situation for all parties involved.
I had a relationship with someone that got injured and I stuck around because it was almost career ending. And I was very much about to break up with him when it happened, but I felt that guilt, like, you know, all right, let me not leave him at his low. She may have felt that way too. You know what I mean? And later on, I found out he was out there in the streets too. And we had an incident. We had an incident. Because it's like, you think about all that wasted time. Like, I feel like when people cheat, you're just wasting time. You don't have to be unhappy with me and I don't have to be unhappy with you. We can both be unhappy with other people or happy with other people. You know what I mean? Right. Like at a certain age, it's such a waste of time and so corny to like be cheating on someone where you could just leave them and live freely. All right, y'all. Moving on. That was so. Reminder real quick. Make sure you get your questions in the chat for us so we can get to them before the at the very end of the show. Is it time for commercial? No, it's not yet. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's get into this next story. Funky, we have another crazy story in Florida, your peoples. An ex-felon and former caregiver is accused of dragging an 87-year-old woman across the floor and using her as a mop to clean up dog urine. What is with Florida and pee? All right. Leonard Irvin Wayne Tucker was arrested in Florida and charged with elderly abuse. According to the arrest report, Tucker held her by her ankles while he pushed her body back and forth over the spot on the floor. Tucker then dragged her by her ankles around the living room before releasing her and walking back into the kitchen. Now, jail records show that Tucker was released from the Escambia County Jail, and he's scheduled to appear in court on January 27th. Funky, what's going on with your peoples?
I don't know, Claudia, but this is really sad. Unfortunately, it's already done. This is the type of situation where I don't want him to go to jail. I actually want him home so the family could go around there and kick his ass. All right. Like, you just don't do this type of stuff to older people. And then it made me want to say this to people out there. Y'all got family members who are in nursing homes or who have caretakers and stuff. Y'all go see about y'all people and don't just ask them how they're doing with the people present. Like, take them for a drive, take them to the garden where they feel free to talk and check on them, because this type of thing goes on more commonly than we know when it comes to our elder people.
Al, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with Claudia. I agree with Q. I mean, the statistics are there. Since COVID, there has been an increase of 84% of elder care abuse. And I find that very, very, very sad. And the other statistic is that 10% of elders over the age of 65 are being abused by their caretakers or by family members. We're learning that family members are the key ones, Q, that are actually taking advantage and abusing these elderly people. As it relates to this guy, they need to send him back to jail, because we know that he is an ex-felon. They need to not only send him back to jail, but they need to put him under the jail and throw away the key.
I agree. This is one of the worst, horrific examples. Like, this is so disrespectful and so traumatizing and so mean. All right, y'all. Speaking of mean, don't be too mean to us with your questions. When we come back from a commercial break, the entire segment is going to be your questions to us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to TGIF, since it's Friday. Now, before we go, we want to show some love to our fans in the chat and open up the floor for them to ask us anything. That music is always like, all right, what they about to ask us. All right. Okay, Jada Bordeaux says, do you guys feel happy with where you are currently in life? Would you change anything or take anything back tragically that affected your life? Oh, that's a deep question. So I don't know how much time we have left. We can give a quick answer to that.
I'm happy where I am, and all the tragedies in my life are what got me to this place. So I wouldn't change anything.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that.
I agree. I'm happy, but I definitely do recognize I'm doing a lot of self-help books. Definitely do need therapy for some of the traumas, because if not, you're going to keep on doing making the same mistakes. A little darling with the big story. Oh, this is a girl that makes all those highlight videos of us that I sent you guys.
Oh, okay. Hey, girl.
She is so dope. You guys follow a little darling with the big story. Question for Q. Who's a celebrity friend of yours that we would be surprised that you know?
I don't feel comfortable answering that question. And the only reason why I don't is because somehow when y'all find out that I know somebody, then y'all start accusing me of being biased and writing for that person. So in order to protect the integrity of what I do, I've kind of adopted a policy where I'm not going to share with y'all publicly who I know in the celebrity world. So sorry for that.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, sorry. Ebony X, Claudia, would you or have dated white? As pro-Black as I am, this one time in college, he was Greek and Italian, so he had a little tan to him. But yeah, I tried it. And some of the cultural things, there was some definite issues that I did not like. And he gave me a fake tennis bracelet. Okay. Brent Green, my question is for Funky. Why do you cut your brows?
I don't. Y'all think I don't have eyebrows. I guess they just blend in with my skin. I have eyebrows, y'all. I don't cut them. Y'all know y'all pick at me, but I have eyebrows.
Hey, let me open up the floor to you guys. Do y'all have any questions for each other? Anything y'all want to ask each other?
Al, how was LA? And what are you looking forward to at this returning to LA?
Well, I got there Tuesday and I left there Thursday morning, so I haven't really seen it. But I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
I got one for Claudia. Claudia, I know you were looking at houses. I always thought that you weren't going to settle in Dallas. Like, what's making you choose Dallas?
It's one of the best housing markets in the country. Like, I was thinking about moving to New York. You guys know about that. But until until I'm there, I want to have some roots, and I can always sell it. I think it's a good financial decision. So I have put an offer in a house. My offer was accepted. I sent my money in. So if all things fall into place with the financing and everything, which I'm already pre-approved, I will be having a new house March 1st. So yeah.
What part of Dallas?
Well, I don't want to say on the air, but it's about 15 minutes from downtown.
Gotcha.
Okay, I was supposed to sound like having a party at Claudia's house. Party at Claudia's house.
High ceilings, it's beautiful too. So yeah.
Good for you.
Is it one of the ones that you showed us on your videos?
Yep, it was house number 2. House number two that a lot of people liked. It has the most bright. I need like a lot of sunlight. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Q, do you have Q? You got a crush on anybody? You like anybody?
No, not this week.
Al, do you? You got a crush?
Not this week.
Okay. Maybe next week we'll have some more positive news. All right, y'all. I'm in Vegas. I'm gonna go back to these tables. If you see me out here, come say what's up. Let's say thank you so much for watching us on YouTube. Y'all gotta stick around for Tracks and Tales, and we will see y'all next week. Y'all have a great weekend, y'all. And I need y'all to be safe.
Bye, soulmates.
Funky.
Have a good weekend, soulmates.
Be careful out there with them draws.
Listen, you see, I was eating my wonton soup, so I'm staying in the house. I'm trying to get my digestion back on track. So we'll see.
I'll talk to you.
Anywho, forget y'all. Good night, soulmates.
Call him at 1 o'clock and he'll be at the bar.